You want some positive vibes?
Absolutely.
Okay. I have a pecking order for you guys.
Oh, look at that graphic.
To celebrate the hottest team in baseball. I have the 7 things I love most about the 2022 Twins. Okay? Never doubted this team at all whatsoever. Well, he's on the list somewhere here.
Yeah, I'll get there. Yeah.
All right. These are the 7 things that I love best about the 2022 Twins, the red-hot Minnesota Twins. They win again last night. We're going to start with number 1 and work our way to 7. These, you can pretty much put these all in a hat. These are all very, very good things. All right, number 1, I love that the Twins already have the biggest division lead of any team in baseball. A 3.5-game lead here, 3 weeks into the season. They're 10-1 in their last 11 games after a 4-8 start, and they have taken command of the American League Central.
A division that is, by all means, could be locked up by June. The American League Central is awful.
I think the White Sox are going to show some life at some point.
I don't know, man.
They got enough talent even with the injuries.
They're injured like crazy.
Their karma feels wrong, though. And I think this is the year that Tony gets exposed as being just an old man who's just out of touch.
That's been documented. I think.
No, but I've been waiting for that. I thought it would be like immediately, and it wasn't. So I don't know. The White Sox, it just feels wrong.
I think we need to expose Tony's hair. I feel like
Tony La Russa,
Mike Krzyzewski, Tony La Russa, you guys, it's not 1988 anymore. You can go gray.
But in Tony's mind, it is, and that's the thing. Tony is a product of the 80s, 90s, Hall of Famer. It's been great. Why you back, dude?
Does Tony have a rug, or do you think he dyes it?
No, I'm pretty sure he
dyes
has a rug.
it.
Oh, really? I thought he had a rug.
Dissension. I don't know.
Well, I feel like it would be hard to wear a hat and wear a rug. Every day for like 8 months, you know?
He's worth enough that he probably could get top-line rug.
Have it just sort of almost like permanently woven. I don't really know how that works, but if there's a rug company that wants to sponsor the show, we'll gladly explain how that works.
Glad to tell people how it's done.
Judd here. Actually, it would be Phil here.
It'd be Phil.
Yeah, but Phil's purposely bald, so.
I shave my head just out of convenience. But, you know, the hairline isn't quite what it was a few years ago. Mackey here for Rogaine.
Let me tell you how it works. All right, but yeah.
Number 2 on the 7 things I love about the 2022 Twins, this pecking order. I kind of love the pitching. So you got Duran is a game changer because we didn't really know what to expect from Duran going into the season. Is he going to be healthy? Are they working him to be a starter at some point? Still reliever? And now he's just pitching lights out at the back end of games. Last night, collects a save. He's throwing 100 miles an hour. He's got nasty breaking stuff. And if his arm doesn't fall off, I think he's just going to be a lights out back end reliever for you this season. So start there. How are they going to replace Taylor Rogers? Oh, Duran. And then the starting pitching, you've got a blossoming ace in Joe Ryan. And then even though Sonny Gray hasn't really given you anything yet because of the injuries, all these other guys are off to good starts too.
Paddock's off to a nice start.
Yeah. Even Winder pitched well the other day. He's like
actually like him.
7th starter, right? Yeah.
Dude, Griffin Jack's out of the bullpen's actually been phenomenal. He had another great inning yesterday.
The pitching has been. I mean, their offense hasn't fully clicked yet, even, and their pitching has been the thing that has kept them in some of these games.
Starting pitching's been good. And you didn't bring up your guy. You didn't even mention him yet. I mean, I know he had a bad outing last time, but come on, I'm supposed to apologize in June because Dylan Bundy's going to be so good. Dylan
Bundy's been great. He's got an ERA below 4. The Twins have won 3 of the 4 games that he has started so far this season. So we are now, 28 days away from Judd's apology. You said in June, right?
In June, but we did get
28 days.
But we got a bad start. If we
he's not going to pitch lights out every start. Now you're moving the goalpost.
No, you're moving the goalpost. Tampa. No, he was terrible.
Oh, he's got to be perfect every time.
No, he was terrible in Tampa. If he's terrible again, the apology's off the table.
Oh, one more bad start and it's off the table?
1 or 2 more and it's off the table. And then I'm pushing it back to July if you're getting that.
Moving the goalposts.
Josh Winder, though, has been really good. I really like that kid.
He is, yeah. All right, the third thing I love about the 2022 Minnesota Twins, Byron Buxton. The Twins have played at a 102-win pace when he's been healthy and playing in games the last few seasons, and they're doing the same thing this year. In fact, what are they? They're 14-9 now?
Yes.
Let's see here.
10 of their last 11, right?
Carry the fire.
So 14 divided by 23, right? So times 162. So they're playing at a 99 win pace right now, if my math is right, which is par for the course. That's actually a little under pace the last 4 seasons with Byron Buxton.
So they're disappointing.
Yes, they're disappointing.
The Twins are incredibly disappointing. They're not at a 100-plus win pace with Byron Buxton.
Isn't it amazing? Like, he is just... First of all, he's one of the most powerful hitters. He's got the highest slugging percentage of any hitter in baseball the last 3 seasons. But now he's also getting on base a little bit more. You know, if he can keep the OBP above 300 and hit all those home runs,
absolutely, man.
He's just a joy.
Worth the price of admission.
All right, number 4. I love that Max Kepler is kind of back to the 2019 version of himself.
Okay, I got a question. What do we think happened there within like the last week? I mean, and
it seems like he's opposite field more often. Strikeouts seem to be down.
So he hit the 2 home runs at Target Field when I was there. I think it was against Detroit, and that sort of was the breakout game. But here's why I feel like it's different and it's sort of weird. It's not the pop-up because that's been short. Like he's played well of late, with of late being the key words, but he's got a swagger back. Like it's almost like somebody talked to him. Like something's happened because when he's not going well, which he basically didn't since 2019, Max Kepler, like you can see it. He sort of doesn't look like he's having any fun. His head is down a lot. There's just something that's not there. And in the last week or so, like the cockiness has come back.
I love it.
It's almost like
Give me
something
some swag,
happened there.
baby. Yeah.
Well, he definitely
Fake it till
plays
you make
off
it.
swag. He definitely plays off some swag. Like if he's got the swag, he's a different guy in my opinion. That might sound too simple, but
yeah, no, I think I'm just looking into some of the numbers here too, some of the underlying things here. So his hard hit rate is the highest it's been since 2019. His opposite field hit rate, it's pretty much in line with where it was the last couple of years, but it's like 25% of his contact is going to opposite field, and that's good because he can get really pull happy sometimes if you want to really get into it.
yes.
One of his biggest issues throughout his career has been pop-ups. He pops up all the time. It's kind of crazy. Joe Mauer only hit like a handful of infield fly balls in his career, and Max Kepler's a guy that'll hit one, and he'll pop up. Sometimes he'll get lucky and the ball will like land 3 seats into the fans, but he's a guy that hits the ball up the phone booth on a regular basis. He only has 2 infield pop-ups this season so far. You want you?
Stats.
That's right.
That
2 infield pop-ups so far this season.
Baseball. That is great. Look at you.
Get those nerds! Nerds!
He's
That's
back.
a good one.
Who's got 2 thumbs and is back into the baseball analysis? Old Macadac.
You and Max Kepler's back.
You're out of the Bad Takes Hall of Fame. I thought, or Bad Takes Jail, excuse me. I thought you were in the Bad Takes Hall of Fame.
Bad Takes Hall of Fame is where
Got it.
Twins Daily put me after my Miguel Sano take from a couple years ago. In fact, here's my 5th. What a segue. Executive producer, just sensing what's on the horizon here.
It's amazing.
So you'll remember that one of the Twins Daily luminaries dunked on me a couple years ago, and it started a Twitter war when I said Miguel Sano is basically just a poor man's Adam Dunn. He has one discernible MLB skill, and it's power. And when he's locked in, he's going to hit some home runs. But overall, I said he's not one of the 10 most important players on the Twins. Oh, that's preposterous, like 2 or 3 years ago. Preposterous. Well, observation number 5 is I love that Jose Miranda has now taken over for Miguel Sano. I don't love that Sano is injured. I'm not rooting for a guy to be injured, but it sounds like he might be headed for some minor knee surgery now, according to what the Twins were saying yesterday. This team is better without him. He's just a drag, man. He ends rallies. He has 5 hits this season, you guys. 5 hits. It's May. He's 29. This is the last year of his contract. He's just not. It's not a David Ortiz situation.
Oh God, no!
It's not.
It's not even close. It's
put me in the Bad Takes Hall of Fame if you want, but it's true.
So I think the problem, if there's a term that I can make up on the fly to describe Miguel Sano's presence, is he's a lineup stopper. He stops the lineup. Like, it's one thing to have power and you strike out occasionally, okay? It's another, though, to basically be an impediment in the lineup, which I think he's become. Like if you look at like last night, right? They got a lot of guys that can hit a little bit. Now they're not all going great, but like there's a definite tone to it. There's a definite tone that goes through that. And I feel like what Sano has done when at least he was playing was you'd get to him and it was so close to being an automatic out that it would just stop everything. And like, what's the use in that? Oh, occasionally he's going to hit a long home run. Okay. A lot of guys can hit. And plus, you know what?
Yeah.
Distance doesn't matter. If you pop the ball out of the ballpark or you hit a mammoth home run to center, it's still a home run. So, like, I think that they finally probably have identified the fact that as a whole, offensively, the way to get this thing going is to take a guy like that out as much as possible and have guys that can be that can have productive at-bats. Because that's the thing, is Miguel does not have productive at-bats.
Yeah, and it would be one thing if he was, you can live with a guy that's just kind of up and down, not great offensively. I think of a guy like Kevin Kiermaier in Tampa, and he's been hurt a lot in his career, but he's so great as a defensive center fielder that you can kind of live with him not being a great hitter. Well, Sano plays first base, and not that well. We've lowered the bar so much for what we expect out of him. This dude was signed as a shortstop 15 years ago or 12 years ago, whatever it was. Okay, well, he's too big for shortstop, so let's move him to third base. Oh, now he's too big for third base. Well, why is he too big? Because he has to lose 30 pounds every year and a half, basically. And I'm not going to tie that directly into a knee injury, but the guy hasn't exactly been the most fit athletic specimen taking his career seriously. Mm-hmm. And he's just, I don't know. I hate to keep dumping on the guy, but I love that Jose Miranda is up. He's been one of their best minor league hitters the last couple of years, and it'll be fun to watch him. All right, observation number 6. Not observation. This is a pecking order. Item number 6. The whisperer, the hockey whisperer, and the baseball whisperer crossing signals here.
At odds.
I love that the Twins are 13-9, or whatever it is, 14-9, 13-9. And two of their best players, Carlos Correa and Jorge Polanco, have barely joined the party yet. Now, Correa has started to heat up a little bit the last few games. But those guys have mostly been cold so far the first 3 weeks of the season. And Miguel Sano has been, like, a 30-year lineup has just been non-existent while you've been winning some of these games. So imagine once those guys fully heat up what that lineup's going to look like behind Byron Buxton.
Correa has been, hot for a week now, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That he started to hit. Yeah, this team's going to be, I think, now a lot more fun. So here's the only thing I've got as far as a bit of, not surprisingly, trepidation from me. The only thing I've got is going to Tampa to win 2 of 3 is nice and impressive. And to the Twins' credit, they seemingly have started to beat up on bad teams, right? But I am curious when they do play good teams, what this looks like, especially the pitching. So, like, can you, when you play good teams, of which the American League has, the East has some good teams for sure, the Torontos, the Yankees, and the West has a few. But the point is, I'm curious when you do play at those clubs, if you can continue this, because it just feels like there is a lot more life now than we ever saw in 2021.
Yeah, well, you know how you can keep the momentum going? With observation or thing number 7 that I love most about the Twins right now. You could call up Royce Lewis.
Oh,
I love that Royce Lewis is tearing it up in AAA. That's number 7 on this pecking order.
Look at you.
So he has a 1,028 OPS in the first 21 games of the AAA season. He's hitting .320 with a .441 on-base percentage. Now, he's played exclusively shortstop so far for the Saints. So I don't know. It's a good problem to have because you already have one of the best shortstops in baseball, Carlos Correa, and then you have one of the best second basemen in baseball in Jorge Polanco. And he has played some center, but you also have one of the best center fielders in all of baseball in Byron Buxton.
Yeah. Although if Buxton gets hurt, which is certainly not.
No, we need to think more creatively than hoping that Byron Buxton gets hurt.
I'm not hoping he gets hurt. I'm just saying that would be an interesting replacement.
Could he play third base?
Do you want to move him to Do you want to move him to third base up here?
Temporarily.
I'm just asking the question, though. Like, if you're going to call him up.
If he's got the arm for shortstop, he's got the arm for third. If he's got the glove for shortstop, he's got the glove for third. I mean, third base is the logical. Shortstops who can't play shortstop anymore oftentimes move to third. See Cal Ripken, Alex Rodriguez, Miguel Sano,
There's too much talent here. That's what you're telling me right now.
I'm saying if this dude's going to have a 1,000 OPS at AAA, you should find a place for him. So maybe you can do like a DH rotation or something where you play some shortstop. But I don't want to pull Carlos Correa from shortstop. So could you get creative? Put him at third base.
Oh, Carlos Correa. Can you imagine that? Carlos, come here, man. We got some bad news for you.
Louis Ariz has been playing some first base, so Ariz can play first base.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Love Ariz.
I'm just saying, like, and this would officially rule Miguel Sano out, right? He would no longer.
I think that's okay, Phil. How about some left field? Could you play left field?
So then you're out. You're looking at now. You want Kepler to be in right, Buxton in center. So you'd be swapping Larnach but then Kirilloff could be your DH.
I'm just throwing it out. I'm throwing it out there. That
if and when he comes back.
I think that's the place that I could probably the quickest create a position. And I would guess that a guy who's played center on occasion could play left field.
You can't. Yeah, you got to find a creative way. I think is the
and if you are in contention, which I think that with the way things are going currently, you will be as the trade deadline approaches. Guess what you got? You got some chips.
Well, look at his value was very much unknown.
Fire the reckless speculation sounder. We're already talking trade deadline deals here, huh? Will bullpen help, maybe?
Speculation.
But isn't his stock? We were all sitting here a month ago saying, "Well, he hasn't played since 2019. Whatever, just trade him." Well, now that he's playing in AAA and carving it up, he's one of the best hitters in AAA. His value is a lot higher because he's a lot closer to being a major league player.
So, do you call the A's back?
If you can swing that trade, obviously, without trading Royce Lewis, then that's the ideal.
But I'm saying if the A's said, "Hey, you know what? We've been keeping an eye on your guy. He's been fantastic. Frankie Montas is yours for Royce Lewis." Would you do it?
I wouldn't do that trade right now. I would have a month ago, but now we have more information. We've seen a healthy, effective Royce Lewis.
It's a question. I'm just asking a reckless speculation.
Dodgers want to give us Walker Buehler or something. Maybe then I'll entertain.
Is he available?
No, not at all. I'm just absolutely spitballing as trying to get the best pitcher in baseball.
Koufax and Drysdale, both of them, or else it's not a deal. But Mr. Drysdale's dead. We still want him in a trade. I want his rights. Yeah, I'm just asking the question because I do think that there's going to be, with what you just went through roster-wise, I do think there's going to be opportunities probably to make some trades.
Agreed. So there you go. There's your pecking order. The 7 things I like best about the Twins.
Too much talent. That's what Phil Mackey's telling us.
Well, look how they are. They're so shaky in certain positions. Like there's a corner outfield spot that's kind of shaky, and you don't really have a first baseman. Third base is up in the air. Well, Miranda might. That's the thing. If Miranda clicks, and he went 0 for 4 last night, but he didn't strike out. If he clicks, now it's an even bigger good problem to have because he becomes your third baseman. And so then
Urshela plays when then? Off the bench?
He just he's fine, but Miranda has more upside than Urshela at this point.
Absolutely.
So then I don't know. Then you have some good problems. But then you could also trade. Like I would probably trade Miranda for Montas before I'd trade Royce Lewis for Montas.
That makes sense. Well, yeah. and I do think that the plan is that Correa spends a year here, leaves, and Royce goes in place of him at shortstop. Like I firmly believe that that's the plan. So they're probably not going to move him.
The Twins have plenty of insurance at some of these key positions, is what we're saying. But if your company is looking for better insurance or better risk management tools and resources, Federated has been around for over 100 years. They're based in Owatonna, Minnesota. They've been supporters of several different Minnesota sports teams too, and us at Score North for a number of years. So if you're just looking for better frontline protection, better support, check out the folks at Federated, federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. All right, there's your packing order. Got the Hockey Whisperer observations, Judd's Hockey Show from last night. You can find on the Judd's Hockey Show podcast feed or the Mackey and Judd podcast feed. And we'll see you guys on Purple Daily.